All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome in. Don't have my mic muted this time, so we should be good. Gonna ship out some orders live, first live of September. Q4 is almost here, right around the corner. Let me see how many orders we have. I don't even know how many orders. Kayla pulled all these this morning. 27 eBay orders. Looks like we have a Depop order and 8 Poshmark orders. So good amount of orders shipping out today. Should be a longer live. Because of that, we moved our Whatnot show from today to tomorrow. So we've been doing Tuesday, Thursday shows just to clear some stuff out before we move. But obviously, we're going to be shipping for a while. I'm not going to be able to get done before 12 o'clock, probably right on 12, right at 12 o'clock. So I already started racking some stuff up. We're going to do Tuesday and or Wednesday, Thursday this week for the clear out show. So I just moved that. So if you're waiting for that show, that'll be not today, but it'll be tomorrow at 12. Figured with all the shipping and everything, we got some stuff we have to schedule today for the move too that we're not going to have any time. So you guys will see that show tomorrow. It's going to be a good show. What's up, Juliet? What's up, Zach? What's up, Jens? Welcome in. Yay, YouTube is working today, too. That's good. I was hoping it was going to be working. Let me clear off my desk really quick, too. I got to clean this desk. Good thing we are moving, because I got to clean a bunch of stuff. Welcome in, everybody. Shipping some stuff out live. Again, whatever I said, 20-something or 30-something orders going out the door, so it should be pretty long live. We had some good bread and butter stuff that sold. We also had some heavy hitter stuff that sold, so should be a very informative live. Let me open up Nifty 2 really quick. I'm not prepared at all for this live. Slide you guys over 2-second read chat. Hope you guys had a good weekend in sales. Let me know if you guys sold anything cool. I'll give you a little shout out on the live. Analytics, and we're good to go. What's up? Amy's in the house. What's up, Amy? All right, let's get started. We'll do the one Depop order. Only had one Depop order. By the way, I've accepted, I'm not joking, like literally like 50 offers this weekend on Depop. Only had one person pay for their stuff. I actually messaged a person. I normally don't do this, but I messaged a person because I literally have accepted their offer on the same item 3 times, and they just keep offering the same thing. And I'm like, what is this, a game? So I messaged them. I said, hey, and they actually offered on a second item too. And I was like, hey, are you gonna pay for the item, or are we just offering? And they're like, oh, well, I was gonna try to build a bundle. And I was like, okay, well, you've had your offer accepted like 3 times on this singular item. So I'm just wondering, are you going to pay? And they just gave me an LOL. That's all they said. So I said, oh, okay, block. Like, seriously, just wasting my time at this point. So blocked them. Out of here. Had to buy a new fridge this weekend. Depleted savings. Also found out shop I sell handmade ad is closing on the 13th. Ouch, that sucks. Sorry to hear that, Jen. What's up, Danny? Just sold a bunch of bread and butter items. Yeah, I got a bunch of bread and butter that went out too. So yesterday was a good day for bread and butter. I had a whole bunch of people like offering on bread and butter stuff. So a good weekend for bread and butter. Polo Ralph Lauren men's corduroy pants. These are going to start selling really, really fast and really frequently. So make sure you're picking up corduroys. Polo Ralph Lauren, Polo Golf Ralph Lauren. I think that's what these are. Also Brooks Brothers and Vineyard Vines. Those are like 3 good bread and butter brands for corduroys. There's also a ton of other corduroy brands, but those are just like the bread and butter ones I can think off the top of my head. Look out for these. Obviously, when it starts cooling down, people start looking for the heavier corduroy pants to keep themselves warm, and these will start selling fast. So that was a good sale. 25 bucks. I probably only paid $5 for these, and they have been listed for 102 days. So I listed these midsummer, knowing that these would sit for a little bit. But 6 orders shipped out this morning, and I almost doubled my sales goal for last month. Let's go. Doubled your sales goal. Now that you have that stuff going on, you'll switch your focus to other things and you'll succeed. And plus, it's about to start ramping up too for Christmas season, so it's a good time to start focusing on that stuff. What's up, Lily? Welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you guys hopping in. All right, next up, we got a bunch of Poshmark orders going out the door. I'm almost out of these Tyveks. I'm at the point where, because of the move, I want to order more supplies, but then I don't want to order more supplies because I don't know if the post office is going to get it here by the time we move. And I don't want to have boxes just sitting outside. So I'm like, I don't know whether I'm going to order some or just wait till I move and order some. What's up, Faith? Welcome in, Faith. Appreciate you hopping in. All right, let's go Polo Ralph Lauren pink pants. These are RLX, I think. RLX pink pants? No, these are Ralph Lauren. Yeah, they are RLX, my bad. RLX pink pants. These sold for 20 bucks. RLX pants haven't been doing as well as I used to. I used to be able to get like 35 for these all the time. So I just took a best offer on these to clear them out. These have been listed for a while. These have been listed for 181 days, so it was time for them to go. I paid $7.46, so I still made a profit, but just be careful when picking up RLX. It's also the end of golf season. Golf plays all year, but this is not the hot time for golf, so the fact I got that offer, I just decided to take it and get it out the door. That one shipped. Next up, we have 2 items, but I'm going to ship them after the live. It's going to be this right here, which is a Brooks Brothers purple shirt, just a size 17.5 purple shirt. And then also this person bought a Brooks Brothers blazer, a red fleece blazer. It's a good one to look out for. It's just a blue striped blazer. No gold buttons or anything on this one, but it does have the red fleece logo on the inside. People always ask, how do I ship these? Basically what I do is I just fold them. Let me make sure I can look at this. Just fold them with the buttons on the inside like that. Make sure the actual suit buttons are on the inside too. Fold it like this. And then I just fold it into thirds. So you can fold it in half, fold it in half again if you want. And then usually I take that, stick that in a poly bag and ship that out. I'm going to get a poly bag later and I'm going to put this in a box because it's a bigger bundle. But those two sold together over on Poshmark. What do they sell for? For 61 bucks. So nice little sale right there. Little Brooks Brothers shirt and blazer combo. I wonder if they're going to wear those together. My sales 10 Poshmark, 2 eBay, 4 Depop, 1 Mercari, and 1 Etsy. Why is eBay so slow? I'm thinking maybe I need to switch to flat rates. Probably because of your shipping. If your shipping is not flat rate. That's my main issue. When I saw my dip in sales, it's because most of my shipping wasn't flat rate and people were getting charged like $11 to ship a shirt. It's like $10 or $11 to ship from here to California, which is wild to ship a like 11-ounce shirt. So I switched over to flat rate and my sales have increased. So I would suggest it. Super easy to change all your listings over to flat rate. So you might as well. Next up. Okay, let me put that over there. Next up is a Untuck It shirt, men's Untuck It. This is a size 2XL Untuck It shirt. Good size to look out for. I'm telling you guys, I sell Untuck It's like candy. They sell so well. I know people pass on these, but they're such easy sells. This one sold for 21 bucks. Nice little bread and butter. You're not going to get super rich off selling these, but they will add to your sales, and they're easy to list, easy to ship. I think I sold a couple more this weekend too. You guys will see. Can you put a link for the hanger? The hanger is not available. As soon as the hanger becomes available, I will make a post about it on Facebook. That's Trisha's hanger. She hand makes them. So flat better than calculated. Not flat rate shipping. Not offering like priority mail flat rate shipping. So don't get that confused. Flat rate as in a flat rate price. So on eBay, you can either give them the calculated shipping based off where they live, or you can offer them a flat price. So for anything under £1, I give my buyers $7 flat rate shipping. And then I get to choose which package it goes into. Usually it's going to go Ground Advantage. Anything over £1, between like 1 and 2 pounds, I offer $10 flat rate shipping. So anything $10 ships for 10 bucks. And then anything above like 2 to 3 pounds, any like really heavy items, I put $12 flat rate shipping. Again, that doesn't mean it goes into a padded flat rate. This isn't flat rate, but padded flat rate envelope. It's not like it's got to go into that. It can go into anything. I'm just charging them a flat rate. Can you do bulk change flat rate? Yeah, you do business policies. Autumn, I have a video on YouTube about business policies. Let me put it in the chat for you. Let me find it and put it in the chat. Just got to change your whole eBay store over to the business policies. Let's see if I can find it. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. All right. Get shareable link. If you don't know how to set up business policies, watch this YouTube video and it'll explain how to set up your business policies. Super easy to do. Takes like, once you watch that video, you'll probably take like 10 minutes to set up your business policies. How much would I recommend change the flat rate, live show, or current eBay listings? No, I'm talking about eBay. eBay flat rate. eBay flat rate. Whatnot does have flat rate shipping, but it doesn't make sense to do flat rate on Whatnot. In my opinion, there are some sellers that are able to do it and make sense for what they sell, but for clothing, it doesn't make sense to do flat rate, because if somebody's going to buy a ton of stuff from me, I'll be charged a bunch in shipping. So that's why I don't do flat rate. Next up, this is a really, really bad item. Really bad item, so do not pick these up. I got this from TJ Maxx Marshall's Yellow Tag event. I paid $10 for this. This is a Christmas Columbia shirt. I only found one of these. I was like, oh, that's unique. Christmas Columbia shirt. This will sell around Christmas time. No, this thing has been listed for 376 days. It has been listed forever. Finally sold for $12. This is one reason I don't pick up Columbia. Literally, my slogan is Columbia doesn't sell, and this is a prime example of Columbia not selling. A PFG shirt, one of the staple bread and butter Columbia items, not selling for 300 days, and I had it listed for like 25 bucks. It's just wild. So yeah, that's why I don't pick up Columbia. No Columbia for me. I just purchased 4 Mizzen and Main flannel shirts last night. Hopefully they will sell fast. Let's go. Mizzen and Main is a great seller. Nice little bread and butter seller. All right, Lacoste hoodie. Next up, Lacoste hoodie. This is a good one right here. It's just a solid black Lacoste hoodie. It's a men's size 5, which is a size large. And this one sold for $29. I picked this up in a bulk buy locally. I probably paid around $8 for it. Sold it for $29. Love picking up Lacoste hoodies, especially. The hoodies, the sweaters, things like that, they sell the best for me in Lacoste. The polos used to do good. The polos are kind of not that great. If you find them at the bins, you can sell them really quick for like 20 bucks. But for where I get them at, it doesn't make sense to pick them up. So I usually pass on them, except if they're the Roger Federer collab. Then those are good to pick up. Next up, we got a 32 Bar Blues, good brand to look out for. Nice bread and butter brand. This one sold for 22 bucks. I had this listed for 3 days. So nice little quick sale. 32 Bar Blues. I got quite a few of these in a bulk purchase recently. I don't put these on Whatnot because I don't feel like this brand is well known enough for Whatnot. I don't even know if most of you guys know the brand. So I don't put these on Whatnot. I kind of take these and stick them on eBay. There's certain brands we don't do that with. So these were just picked up in the bulk buy last week, and I just decided to list these instead of throw them on Whatnot. Next up, we got a Patagonia Uprisal hoodie. Big spell out on the front, as you can see. This one sold for 25 bucks. Nice little bread and butter sale. These are going to start selling for more as we get closer to winter. If this was in the middle of winter, I probably would have listed this for like 35 bucks. But we're still in the middle of summer, so. Update on Whatnot and cross listing. Update on Whatnot. There's only one platform that currently cross lists to Whatnot, and that is Vendoo. So if you're interested in cross listing, you can only use Vendoo to do so. I think Nifty, well, I know Nifty is working on trying to get it, but they're working on allowing Whatnot to let them into their back end so they can actually show how their systems work and everything. So Nifty will be able to build that out. I know there's a lot of other cross listers right now that are stating that they, especially newer ones that are like claiming that they're going to have Whatnot within the next like 2 months. I highly doubt that. Because to be able to build Whatnot, you really need to be allowed into the back end. So hopefully Nifty will get it soon, but if you're interested in cross-listing, there's only one service. I do have a link in my bio to sign up for Vendoo just specifically for the Whatnot cross-listing. So that's the only platform right now that you're able to cross-list to via Vendoo to Whatnot. Next up, Tommy Bahama. This is a silk Tommy Bahama Hawaiian shirt. These are still selling because it's the tail end of summertime. People are still picking these up. This one sold for 27 bucks. Good plaid pattern on this one. Always pick them up. 100% silk, good patterns, good fabrics. Ba-ding. Something just went off on my phone. I have a question about eBay and shipping. I know that you put a specific amount for shipping depending on your item, but how do I do that without losing a ton of money? I'm trying to list boots and the shipping is insane. So you're talking about doing flat rate for boots? That's hard because obviously, like if I ship boots from Florida to Florida, usually it's only like 10 bucks to ship those boots. But if I ship those boots from Florida to California, sometimes they're like 20, 25 bucks to ship those boots. So for boots, for shoes are the only thing I currently do calculated for. So that's what I would say is you got to do calculated shipping for those. Yes, sometimes the buyers are going to be charged outrageous money to ship them, but if you want to do it so you guarantee yourself not losing any money, you got to charge calculated. If you ship a couple boots, let's say over the next like 2 months, you ship like 50 pairs of boots, and you see what, then you go back and you look at what your average cost for your label is, and it comes out to like 15 bucks. Then you charge $15 from there on out, and that would mean that on average you would break even. There's going to be some that you lose money on, some that you gain money on, but you can take that data, and or if you already have that data, if you already shipped some boots over the last couple months, you can take that data and see how much it costs you to ship those items, and then use the average and then charge a flat rate. But that would be the only other way to do that, with like guaranteeing that you don't lose money. Even that's not a way to guarantee it, but you will come pretty close to not breaking money. So Resell Brothers did a post called 80/20, which is pretty interesting, saying 80% of the sales are bread and butter and 20 bread and butter 20 or below sales. Yes, those are smart guys over there. If you guys aren't following Resell Brothers, make sure you give them a follow. They know their stuff. Those are one of the people I will definitely vouch for. That I'll say that they know their stuff. I haven't watched that video. I saw it pop up on my feed yesterday, so I'll have to watch it so I can comment on it. But yeah, I'm sure what they said was smart, because they're two really, really smart guys. No problem. All right, eBay orders. We're moving pretty quick today, which is good. eBay orders. How many do we have going out? I don't need Nifty anymore. We got 27 eBay orders going out the door. I'm probably going to do these all out of order, so bear with me until we get down to the bottom end. But this is one of my best sales from this weekend. This is a carbon to cobalt leather jacket. So anytime you find these, not all carbon to cobalt is made equally. There's certain pieces that are worth really, really good money. This is one of those pieces that's worth really good money. This is like almost like a riding, like motorcycle style jacket, like a moto style jacket. This one sold for $120. If I remember correctly, I paid $20 for this locally in a bulk buy. So I didn't pay too much for it. Sold for $120. Really, really good sale. This one I'm going to put off to the side because I'm going to get a box and ship that out. Usually I ship those like medium flat rate. I sold 3 items for $268 my first week. Not a lot, but a good start. But it's a start, and it's fun. Your guidance teaching definitely what made it happen. Let's go. First week to sell $268, that's insane. That's really good. I hope you know that's like really, really good. Usually when people first start, you're selling like one item in your first week. At least that's what I did. I sold like 1 or 2 items my first week. So for you to sell $268 is not only mean you're paying attention, but you're also picking up the right stuff and you're selling it. So good job. 268 is great. What about codes on eBay and shipping flat rate? I usually do, like for that moto style jacket, I charge $12 flat rate shipping, because that's like a heavy jacket. It's going to be like 3 or 4 pounds. So that'll be one of those $12 ones. There are going to be some that I lose money on that I ship to California, and I'm going to lose a couple bucks on. But for the most part, if I charge $12, I either break even or make a little bit of money. Very rarely do I lose any. Again, unless it's going to like super far away, California or Hawaii or something like that. All right, next up, Polo Ralph Lauren. This is a big pony polo. There was a small flaw on this, so I had to list this one a little bit lower. But it has a crest logo over here. It has a big pony on this side. Sold for 25 bucks. This was listed for a little bit too, probably because of that stain was kind of deterring people from buying it. But we still got 25 bucks for it. I can't remember where I got this. I probably got this in a bulk buy, which means I probably paid like $6 to $8 for it. Nothing crazy. Let me clear this out. I got so much stuff in my scale. Do you promote on eBay? What percent? I currently promote at 9% on eBay. I was at 7% for a little bit, but my sales dipped. I'm at 9%. I'm going to drop it down from 9% to probably 7 to 5%, somewhere around there, closer to Christmas time. Because as it gets closer to Christmas time, your sales will organically get more views because more people are shopping. So I'll probably drop it at that time. And then as soon as Christmas is over, then I'll pick it back up again. What's up, Debbie? Welcome in, Debbie. All right, that one's shipped. Oh, by the way, if you bought something on Whatnot too, your orders have shipped. I had somebody reach out to me this morning. I was like, hey, when's my order going to ship? It's like, sorry, the post office was closed yesterday. So don't fret, your stuff will ship. It's shipping out. When do you lower your prices? Is it at a percent? I really don't lower my prices. If I have to clear stuff out, I usually just take it over to Whatnot and clear it out. There's only like one time of the year that I run a sale on my store, and that's right around Christmas time, like right before Christmas. If I want to do that last little push before Christmas and get a bunch of stuff out, I'll throw my store in like a 10 to 20% off sale, depending on how much I want to move and how good sales were. Sales were good during Christmas time. I don't have to put my store on sale. That's just like last like push to get some stuff out. So yeah, I don't do sales or markdowns or anything like that. Again, if I needed to move stuff, I just bring it over to Whatnot. I could sell if I had like 60 items. I was like, hey, I got to get rid of 60 items to make room for some new stuff. I could just take 60 items over to Whatnot, clear it out within one show, and then I have room for the stuff instead of spending time discounting and waiting for sales to come in. I can make those sales happen. This is making me rethink picking up Tommy Bahama sweaters. This sale right here, and I thought this was going to sell fast. So if you can find these pretty cheap, pick them up. Tommy Bahama, this is a men's size large Tommy Bahama sweater, full zip. Let me see how long this took to sell. Let me just find it. Should be on Nifty somewhere. Where are you at? Nope, it's up here somewhere. Tommy Bahama, there it is. Tommy Bahama, this took 6 days to sell, so less than a week. $22.99 plus ship. Bread and butter sale. Tommy Bahama full zip sweater. It is just a plain Tommy with a little hit on the front right there. Sold in 6 days. So if you can find these cheap enough, if you're at the bins or you're at thrift stores, you can find them for like $2 or $3. I would suggest picking them up. Sold for $22.99 that fast. You cannot just pass on that profit. I used to pass on them, and now I'm regretting it. Off topic, but anyone here have Nifty? I need help with the AI. I take pictures on my iPhone, but have Windows laptop. How do I transfer the pictures from my phone to Nifty? You don't transfer your pictures from you transfer your pictures from your phone to Nifty, doing it on your phone. So you just log into Nifty on your phone. So I do this on my listing. I haven't done a listing live in a little bit, so I can't say I do this often, but I do show how I do this. But if you go to Nifty, no, I want to log in. I'm not logged in yet. Hang on. Okay. Did I not use the right password? Okay, I did use the right password. I just misspelled it, I guess. All right, when you're on Nifty, you're about to do your listings. You can hit the add button, as you can see right there. It says add, or there's a purple lightning bolt. When you press add, that means you're adding them one at a time. When you press the purple lightning bolt, that means you're adding bulk. Usually I add bulk. And then you scroll down here, you add your listings into here. So you put your photos into here, and then at the bottom, there's gonna be a purple generate button. When you hit the purple generate button, it's gonna start generating your listing. From there, you can go over to it on your computer, and it'll already have it generating on your computer. So you can use your phone. Just go to nifty.ai, log in like you log in on your computer, and you can upload all the photos, and then you can finalize the listings on the computer. That's usually what I do. You can also finalize them on your phone too, because it works exactly the same. So if you end up liking it and you're like, hey, this actually works better if I just finalize it on my phone, then you can do it that way. But both ways work, either way. But yeah, you just like you do with eBay, you can bring your photos in to eBay via taking the photos and then going in through the app. This way is not an app, but it's almost the same thing. You're just going through on the website on your phone. All right, next, let's ship this one out first. It's going to ship out for £2. I charge $10 shipping on this one flat rate. It's only going to cost me $8.50. No problem. Good question. What do you think about U.S. Polo Association luxury feel 3 for $5 pass? U.S. Polo Association is Walmart. It's a Walmart brand. You can probably go to Walmart and find them 3 for $5 brand new with tags. Not 3 for $5. You get them for $5 each brand new with tags at Walmart. So I don't really know what they cost at Walmart, but I'm sure it's somewhere around $5. So U.S. Polo Association is not Polo Ralph Lauren. They're two completely different brands. It's like comparing Gap to Untuckit. It's like two completely different brands, so they're going to command a different price point. Untuckit men's shirt, another one sold. This one sold for $20.70. I told you guys I sold more of these this weekend. There is another one. 2070 bread and butter sale. This is a Nifty sale, so Nifty sent out a 10% out offer, and this person accepted. Nifty's always sending offers for me. I haven't sent an offer on my eBay store in probably a little over 2 years now, because Nifty's been taking care of that for me. Charge the buyers $7 for shipping. It's costing me $6.49 to ship this. Man, my neck hurts today. What's up, Dora? My neck hurts today. I took down the trampoline yesterday, packed that up, Brought that over to Kat's house, my sister. So she just got a brand new trampoline because where we're moving to, we don't have room for it. So she got a new trampoline. Then I mowed the lawn, so now the back lawn looks good. And then we're calling the college hunk guys out. That's what they're called, by the way. I know Surfs would get a little excited when I said when I called them college hunks, but we're calling those guys out hopefully tomorrow, and we're gonna get everything else cleared out. All the furniture will be gone, so we'll be living in a furnitureless house for like basically 2 weeks. The kids are gonna have fun running around the house when there's nothing inside of it. Lululemon black women's hoodie. This one sold. We picked up for $6.40. It's one of those nice performance hoodies. This one sold for 27 buckaroos. A nice little bread and butter. Be careful with picking up Lululemon because some of the Lululemon isn't selling as well as it used to, especially women's items. Men's still sell pretty well. They don't sell again for as much as they used to, but men's sell faster and for more money usually. But the women's items, there are some that you just pass on nowadays. Even if you get it super cheap at a thrift store, it's really not worth it. Now, Vuori, if you find Vuori, which is almost the same feel, texture, look as Lululemon, anything Vuori will sell. Vuori's like the old Lululemon, sells fast and for good money. All right, that one shipped. Next up, lots of Polo Ralph Lauren. Selling this weekend. Here's a Polo Ralph Lauren. This is it's got like a corduroy collar up here. It's like one of the nicer Polo Ralph Lauren pieces. It also has an elbow patch too. This one sold for $27.99. College hunks are worth every penny. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make their job super easy. Super easy. We're gonna take all the furniture that we have in the house and we're just gonna stick it out by the road. So all they have to do is literally just pull up and throw it right in the back of their truck, except for the couch. That's the only thing we'll have them come in the house and grab. Everything else will be out by the road. So I want them to be able to come here within 30 minutes, have everything loaded up and out the door. And then we'll really know how much stuff we have left. Basically, when we move, we're just packing up this room and a couple mattresses. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is going to be out in the pod, so it's going to make our move really, really easy. All right, let's see. This person bought this polo. So this is a men's Polo Ralph Lauren 3XB polo. The key to this sale is it's a 3XB, so it's a big and tall size. It's a pre-owned polo, but it sold for $24.99, full price sale. And again, the only reason why I asked for more money for this, because usually I don't pick up regular polos, is because it was a size 3XB. Appreciate you, Ann. Yeah, we get to talk to her. I got to talk to my loan officer tomorrow, make sure everything's good on their end. And then once they finalize the loan and everything, we're pretty much set. The people that are buying this house have already told us they're good to go, except for we have to fix two parts of our roof, just like little small fixes that they're charging us buku crazy money for. It's wild. They're almost $3,000 to fix two corners of the roof that just have a little bit of wear. Because they're claiming they have to take apart the whole side of the roof. It's so annoying. It's like, this house is already sold, just fix it so it looks nice. That's all I really need. But they're like, no, we got to take it all apart. And we can only hire them because everybody else is booked out. We called like 4 or 5 different roofers and every one of them was like, sorry, we can get out there, but it's going to be 3 weeks from now. We're like, we move in 2 weeks. I got to get it done. So the one company that's able to come out is charging us $3,000 to fix 2 corners of the roof. I was like, I got my whole back flat roof done for $6,000. I was like, you're just fixing 2 corners. How is this $2,000 or $3,000? But whatever, it's an expense. I could have denied it, but I could have told the people buying the house that they got to take care of it. But then if they back out, then we're screwed. So I basically am stuck fixing it. So hopefully they get that done this week too. I got to call them, see when they're coming out. Men's size small Polo Ralph Lauren, nice plaid pattern. Usually I charge a little bit more for these because of the pattern, but this was a size small, so I kept it at $22.99 plus ship, and that's what this one sold for. Yeah, I love getting that news. Hopefully that's the last piece of bad news that we got, or that we're getting before we move, because that was just out of the blue. Out of the blue on Friday, I found out I had to spend $3,000, and I was like, oh, miserable. All right, $5.02 to ship this one out. Cost, I charged the buyer $7 for shipping, like flat rate, obviously. Next up, 20 orders left. I'm going to get this order out of the way because I think I see it right here. But I'm going to pack this one up later. I got this Ralph Lauren shirt, this Ralph Lauren shirt, and this Ralph Lauren shirt. These all sold in a bundle. So if you don't know, on my eBay store, I have 2 sales, and this person took advantage of both of those sales. So I have 10% off if you spend $50 or more. So they spent over $50 on these, so they automatically got 10% off. And then on top of that, if you buy 2 or more items in my store, you get free shipping. So not only do they get free shipping, but they got these. Then they not only they get free shipping, but they got 10% off. And then after they bought this, they actually sent me a message and said, the only reason they out of the blue, they're like, the only reason I bought this was because of your 2 sales. So good job marketing, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So hopefully they're back. Hopefully they come back and buy some more stuff. But it's pretty cool to let them, they saw the sale, and that's what got them to buy it. So nice little sale. I'll take it. Get some Ralph Lauren out the door. A nice little bundle. Next up, Levi's, just bread and butter Levi's. Paid $5.34 for these. These sold for $20.70. Black Levi's sell very, very well. So a small price to pay for a greater good, yes. Yeah, that's why I was hoping it was going to be like $500, and they told me how much it was, and I was like, whatever. I just want to get it done, so I didn't worry about trying to find somebody else after they came in. I was like, you guys are going to get it done in a week. Just sign my life away. You can have it. You can have my business. What's up, Bree? What's up, Bree? I don't know who that is. You may have answered this previously, but can you please tell me what lights you have when taking pics for listings? The light box, the light box I use is right behind me. That one is linked in my link tree, but right now I believe it's currently unavailable. They told me that they have 150 on the way, because last time I posted about this light box, it sold out within like 3 hours. We had I think there was like 17 available or something like that, and they sold out in 3 hours. So I told the company to restock heavy, because once I post about it again, I'm sure 150 they should stay in stock for a while, so that when people like you come into my live, you're able to go purchase one right away instead of waiting for them to restock. So yeah, the lights, I use the light box that's behind me for my lighting. Shipping label inside packages, pros and cons. Shipping label, you mean like the it's not shipping label, it's called, what is it called? There's a word for it. Packaging slip. I don't put any packaging slips in any of my orders. I think that it's a waste of paper. Nowadays, people can go on their phone and see what they paid for their item. So why are you putting a package slip in there, wasting your own paper, your own time to just tell them what they paid for the item, when if they wanted to look it up, they just go on their phone and look it up. I know some people do it even on Whatnot orders. I don't put any packaging slips in there, even though it shows both packaging slips. I purposely print out just the label every time I ship my Whatnot orders, because, again, I just don't think it. If you want to see what you bought your stuff for on my Whatnot show, you just go to your Whatnot account, you take out your phone, and you look it up. I don't see the use of me wasting more rolls of thermal labels just to have packaging slips. So. How much you sell the bundle for? Oh, I forgot to say that, didn't I? Bundle sold for $72.97. I think that's without the 10%. I think eBay shows before the 10%. So whatever 10% off that is, $72.97. What size is it? This one is the 55-inch one. So it's like 55 by 40 something by 20 something. It's the smallest one. But this one is currently unavailable. They do have 2 larger sizes that are available right now. I just like this one because I just sit it on a table like this. It's the perfect height for me. But if you want to get one of the larger ones, those are always available. Most people like this size, though. You just get one of these like cheap tables at Target or Walmart, and you stick it right on top of there. It's a perfect height. It comes up to waist level, so you can take your cover photos without bending over and hurting your back. And then you do your flat lay photos or your hanging photos up there. Next up, good shirt right here. I was about to make a post of this on Facebook yesterday. I might still do it. This is a Brooks Brothers shirt, but it's not your average everyday Brooks Brothers shirt. This is a patchwork plaid Brooks Brothers shirt. This one sold for $27. Nice sale. Always look out for these. It's a size medium, which isn't the best size, but it's still sold for good money just because it's that nice patchwork plaid. Appreciate all the questions coming in too. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. No question is a stupid question. So if you have any questions on your mind, you're like thinking about typing it, but you're like, I don't know if I should ask them, just ask it. I'm sure somebody else in the chat has the same question that you have. So it's always a good time to come in and ask questions while I'm on live. This one's shipping out for 12 ounces. I didn't check the price. I know it's under $7. All right, that one's shipped. Next up, Robbie G, men's Robert Graham. By the way, we have a bunch of these in this weekend's Whatnot show, so make sure you come out. Got a bunch of these on consignment. And then also tomorrow's midday show, I have a bunch of these hanging up too. Robert Graham men's size large. This one sold for $30. More of a plain pattern on this one. It does have a little bit of geometric on it, but it's not like the super bright, vibrant Robert Grahams that'll get like 40 to $50. Still sold for 30 though. Where's Kit Kat been? I have no clue. Kit Kat's not my sister, by the way. People think that's my sister Cat. That's not my sister Cat. She's like my sister though. She annoys me as much as she does. But no, I don't know where Kit Kat's been. Kit Kat's been in hiding. She hasn't been on anybody's shows. When's lunch? I don't know. Probably after this live. I don't know if we're gonna go out and get lunch today. I think we'll probably stay home because we got a bunch to do. Where do you get the bags? You put them in, Linda. They're in my link tree. If you go to my description of this live, so if you back out of this live and you go to my main page, or just click on my image here on Facebook, if you go to the description of this live, it has my link tree link there. Also, if you go to my pinned post on Facebook, it's always in my pinned post. Is my link tree. Click on that, and then you go to the products we use on a daily basis section, and all the clear bags, the regular bags, they're all linked there. I also have some discounts to some websites too, like on that for Gyro Pack, which make these bags too. There's like a discount code for that for your first purchase. What you pay for Robert Graham shirts? Depends on the Robert Graham shirt. If it's a plain Robert Graham shirt, probably paying like $5 for it. If it's a limited edition 100% silk Robert Graham shirt, I might pay $100 for it because that shirt's worth like $200 to $300. So it all depends on the Robert Graham. Depends on exactly all the specifics of the Robert Graham shirt. Next up, these are Vineyard Vines men's shorts. This is an item that I don't really pick up too often, but because of the pattern, I decided to pick these up. These sold for $22.99 plus ship. I picked these up for $4 at the thrift store. So nice little bread and butter sale. Not huge profit, but these little profits do add up. You've seen all my sales this weekend. A lot of them are just bread and butter pieces like this, so they definitely add up. This one's going to ship out for 11 ounces. Buyer paid $7. I'm paying $5.70. I started with Nifty, but haven't really seen an improvement in sales. Not sure what I'm doing wrong. Sold 3 jackets. Oh, I thought this was your same question. How often are you listing, Amy? And because Nifty isn't going to just, if you're not listing frequently, Nifty isn't just going to increase your sales and make it like boom out of nowhere. You still got to do your due diligence and list every day. It's not like a fix everything kind of thing. You still got to keep active in your store. So if you're not listing frequently, 5 days a week, 5 items a day, you're going to see your sales start to decline. It's just going to happen no matter what you use. Sold 3 jackets all weekend, all shipped up north. Jacket season upon us. Yes, it's definitely getting colder up north. So yes, I'm starting to see some jackets and stuff sell too. We're also trying to put some jackets into our Whatnot shows too, because up north, like you said, it's starting to cool down. So Vineyard Vines men's medium Vineyard Vine shirt. This one has a good like fish print all over it. Key with these nowadays is to pick up Vineyard Vines with really, really good prints. The plain ones will still sell, but the fishy prints ones and the ones with the floral patterns, they'll sell a little quicker and for more money. This one sold for $24.99. That one's going to ship out for 7 ounces. 7 ounces. $4.61 is what this one's shipping out for. Next up, we got 15 orders left. Well, 13 because I already showed 2 of them. 13 orders left. Here's a good sale. Here's a non-bread and butter sale for everybody in chat. Anytime you're out thrifting, there's certain Ralph Lauren labels that are worth more than others. This is a purple label Ralph Lauren, older purple label Ralph Lauren shirt. Good, nice. It's just a plain stripe. There's nothing crazy about this. It's 100% cotton. It's just purple label. Purple label commands a little bit of a higher value. This one sold for $81 in pre-owned condition. This one also is going overseas, so I don't have to worry about this getting returned. It's the best part of it. Well, in the past week, I haven't listed as much because I worked on getting inventory and box number system. I see how this week goes with listing more. Yeah, I think you'll see an increase in sales. My sales have decreased too. If you guys were here beginning of this year, On Monday, I'd be shipping out like 50, 60 items. Nowadays, I'm shipping out like 30, simply because I'm not listing as much. We're doing like 5 to 10 listings per day, and we're not even doing that every day. So we're seeing a downtick in sales too. What app shows what items sell for on eBay? That's just eBay. You go to eBay, you type in the search of what you're looking for, and you see what's listed, and then you filter for sold, and you can see what's sold. You can do all your product research right on eBay. You don't need another app. I don't know who this is. Hello? Who is this? Scammers, dude. It's so obvious you're a scammer. Just stop calling. So annoying because we got our credit pulled from the company we're using for our loan, and they sent out a disclaimer like, as soon as we pull your credit, you're gonna get scam calls right afterwards. It's like, oh God. So every day, literally from beginning to the end of the day, I get like 20 to 30 scam calls. It's all because they pulled my credit. It's so annoying. So annoying because I have to answer all these calls because I don't know if it's gonna be like the other escrow agent that's calling me from a different number or something like that. I have to answer all these calls, but I have to answer them like, hello, who is this? Stop calling me. I know what you're doing. Ralph Lauren medium plaid shirt sold for $22.99 plus ship. I'm gonna do a whatnot show myself in the next few weeks. I got a new Attack Polar Bear long sleeve hooded shirt. I was thinking do a buyer giveaway. What do you think? I think that's a good one. Good buyer giveaway. What other items are you selling in that live though, Dora? If I was going to do a Polo Bear giveaway, it would be on like an all Polo Ralph Lauren show because you want to attract those specific customers to your show. And the way you attract them is you do the big giveaway. It can't be like you're selling a bunch of women's items and then all of a sudden you're giving a Polo Bear piece. We used to do buyer appreciation giveaways was just shoes at the end of our live, like, but we would sell clothing and we wouldn't see a big like we would see more resellers come into our shows, and you want the resellers, but you also want the natural buyers. And doing a shoe giveaway on a shirt show just didn't make any sense and would always go to like a reseller. So I think it's a good idea if you're doing like an all polo show. Had some shorts and short sleeve shirts at 30% off this weekend. Sold a few, but realized Nifty was relisting items and they would not be on sale. Also did your bundle sale, free shipping on 3. Nice. Let's go. Can you remind me about Poshmark situation with having Nifty auto delist listings that sold? I forget what that exactly was. Poshmark deleting account. So Poshmark is, I don't think there's that much of an issue anymore with this, Sean. I haven't seen many people post about it, but there was a period of time where if you delisted a item that you had just listed within the last 60 days, even if it sold on another platform, Poshmark was like giving you a warning and then they would ban you for listing for like 3 or 4 days or something like that. I never got that ban, but there's no way to prevent that specific thing from happening. The only thing to prevent from happening on your side is the delisting and relisting of items that are 60 days or older, which you're supposed to be allowed to do. But if Poshmark sees you delisting, relisting a bunch, they're going to limit your account. So what I did was I turned that off on Nifty, but I still delist sold items. I don't think it's right to keep active or keep items active that are currently sold. So I pulled those down. There's no way to prevent that if they do limit your account because you pulled a sold listing. What you have to do is you have to message Poshmark and say, hey, this item sold on another platform. You guys have specifically stated we're allowed to do that. We're allowed to pull down sold items. So can you please unban me? And usually they unban you within 24 hours. So yeah, that's the gist on that. Tell Surf stop blowing up your phone. Yeah, that's not Surfs. I wish it was Surfs. I wish it was Surfs over the stupid scammers that call you and tell you that I got a message this morning too, like, hey, you got an outstanding traffic ticket. I'm like, no, I don't. I don't have an outstanding. I've never got a traffic ticket in my life. So nice try. Polo Ralph Lauren men's extra large knit sweater, $25.20. Does it show anywhere on eBay that items are going eBay International Hub? Yeah, so when you ship it, it'll go to Glendale Heights. Glendale Heights, I think is what it is. And it has like a transfer number at the bottom. That's how you know it went international. It always goes to the same exact address. I wish I had it on the screen so I could show you. If I see another one, I'll show it on the screen. But yeah, they all go to the same exact hub. I think there's two hubs within the United States. Usually mine's goes to Illinois, I think is where it is. Central US. That one shipped. Polo, Timberland, Levi's, and such. Polo, Timberland, Levi's, and such. I think if you have a lot of polo on that show, it could work. Yeah, if you have a lot of polo on that show, it could work. Because, yeah, if you're doing a giveaway for a Polo Ralph Lauren piece, you want a lot of polo in that show. That way you attract those specific customers. Here's a good sale. This is a Kayla pickup from the TJ Maxx and Marshall's Yellow Tag event. This is a Miracle suit. Good brand to look out for. They always sell fast for us, even at the tail end of the winter season, or the summer season, sorry. Tail end of summer, this still sold really fast. $58.50. I think we paid $10 for this. Will you know at offer process or after it's sold? I don't pay attention to when I get the offers. I just pay attention to where it's shipping to. But if you're doing the international shipping program, it doesn't matter anyway. It wouldn't matter if you know before or after, because it's going international through eBay's global shipping program, which means basically once you ship it out and it lands at the eBay international hub, you're safe. There's almost no way for that person to return the item unless you made a mistake on the listing, and when they get it, they realize there's a mistake. But other than that, you really don't have to worry about a return. eBay facilitates all that for you, takes care of it. So anytime I get a global shipping sale, I'm like, heck yeah, like take it away from me. Maybe I'll do a double giveaway with a women's item to just even out. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Or you can run those items and then just do like a gift card giveaway that will apply to everybody. That's usually why we do gift card giveaways, because everybody likes them. There's nobody that will argue against a gift card giveaway. Next up, Polo Ralph Lauren men's jeans. These are also from the TJ Maxx and Marshall's Yellow Tag event. If I remember, these were in the video of that video. At the end of the rack, it was like the first or second store, and I think I paid $20 for these. These sold for $69.99 plus shipping. Good sale right here. The key with these at Yellow Tag clearance event is not grab the ones that are like massive. You'll find these specific jeans and they'll be like size 56. They're massive jeans. Those are usually the ones I pass up on. These were a size 44, so more of a common size. That's why they sold pretty quick. I still have one more pair of these too, by the way. I'm sure they're going to sell within the next couple weeks. Now that it's starting to cool down, people up north will start grabbing these jeans up, getting their winter jeans. I'm actually going to throw a piece of tape on this just in case. No problem, Laura. Yeah, I wish I had I could probably go back and see the address. I'm sure I had another international sale here somewhere. These are going to North Carolina too, which means $6.45 to ship these. I can't be there from work. I'm not allowed to sell items I get through work. Their code of conduct, too good of a deal to pass up. Gotcha. Oh, so do you work at Polo? I have somebody that consigns with me that works for Polo. Same thing. They can't sell it themselves. So what they do is they use me to sell it for them. They send it my way. And they say, don't tell anybody I'm sending this to you. I'm like, yep, I won't tell anybody. And they get a good deal on it, and then we just consign it. And they're not allowed to sell it on their eBay store, so it works out perfect. It's like a perfect relationship. I sell it on Whatnot, so nobody ever knows I sell it there. There's no way for their bosses or anything to track it, because their bosses have no clue who I am. Is it possible to run multiple percentage off sales at the same time on eBay or through Nifty? In other words, can I run a 25% off of specific items and 50% off other items at the same time? Yeah, you can set that when you set up on eBay. You go to your active discounts, your sales that you're running, and you can set them up, and you can select certain items for that sale, and then you can go select certain items for another sale. So you can do multiple. You can do many sales if you want to. You can also do, like I'm doing, a percentage off and then also free shipping depending on how much they buy. So I work somewhere adjacent. Gotcha. Okay, makes sense. Sold Duluth Trading Company women's jeans for $20. Dora, if you ever want to move that stuff, by the way, that's an option for you too. If you wanted to consign it, I know you can't sell it under your name. So if you wanted to move it under my name, there's no way for them to track it on Whatnot, because I do random pulls. That's one reason why I do random pulls too, because I have not just that person. I have a couple other people that work for certain companies, and they send that stuff to me because I do random pulls. There's the only way for them to know that I'm running their items is if they knew me and knew them and knew what they bought and knew that I was selling it on a specific day at a specific time, but you never know because I'm always doing random pulls. So that's always a option for you. And anybody who works at a certain department store that's legally against the rules, not allowed to sell their own items, and they can just send them to me and I'll sell them consignment. The person who opened a case on me says he reached out to USPS, who says the item was delivered to an MBE. I think it's an international sale. That item was never received. What more can I do? Are you losing? Did you lose the case, or did you? Is the case still open? Because if the case still open, if the USPS has scanned that item delivered, then you should be off the hook. That's between USPS and that person at that point. So if they haven't like said anything back to you, I wouldn't even comment on the case or anything. I would just let it play out because probably not gonna have an issue with that. Sold Duluth Trading Co. jeans for $20. Let's go. I don't really pick up too much Duluth Trading Co. There's certain pieces, but most pieces I pass on. If you get to get those from the bins, I would. Do you list out of season clothing or hold it for a better time? Sometimes I do. I do list some out of season clothing, but for the most part, I list it during the season because obviously you're going to make more money listing during the season. It says my chat just deactivated, so if you guys are commenting, hopefully this fixes itself. I don't know why Restream has been really weird lately. Literally, the chats just disconnect and reconnect the whole live. It's not supposed to do this. I'll have to reach out to Restream and tell them that I'm having issues. Bugatti men's shirt, brand new with tag Bugatti shirt. I remember I sold a couple of these on Whatnot for super cheap. This one sold for $62. So if you see us blow these out, you might want to hop on the opportunity to buy them. $62 for a men's Bugatti shirt. You'll see over the next couple days, I'm going to be blowing out a lot of new tag stuff, including the Rock Revival jeans, some more Bad Birdie polos. I'm literally just moving those so I don't have to store them. They're good sellers, but they're slower sellers, and I don't want to have to carry those over to the new house. So you'll see on tomorrow afternoon show, probably Thursday show, and Saturday show, I'm gonna have a lot of new tag stuff that I'm just getting rid of, moving. Pulled it and I'm moving it. All right, next up is just a few more orders. Going out the door. Polo Ralph Lauren men's shorts. Now these did have a small flaw. The buyer reached out and said, hey, can you do a little discount for me because these did have a flaw? I said, absolutely. Sold for $18. I picked these up in a bulk buy. I paid $5 for these. I usually don't pick up stained white items, but because I got these in a bulk buy shipped to me, there wasn't really much I could do. Still sold for $18. Okay, I will stop communicating. They keep messaging me. Yeah, they got to open up a case with eBay. If they don't open up a case with eBay, it's because they just want you to send them a refund, Amy. And you don't have to send them a refund. The refund has to be sent from eBay. So you're basically in the clear. There's not really much they can do. They got to open a case. The reason they're probably not opening a case is they understand that as soon as they open that case, it's going to get denied, or it'll run through the process, and in the end, they're going to get denied. So. Made you hit you up on that offer, cool. Yeah, it's a good way to clear out some stuff, and if you get good deals and you want to make some money off of them and you don't want to get in trouble, it's a good way to move that stuff. And then I'll never tell anybody I never say who the items in my shows are being consigned from. So even though you have the same items, even if they did somehow know that I was selling your items, they would have to prove that those are your items and not another consigner, which would be impossible. So. Tommy Bahama men's tropical vintage shirt, old school Tommy Bahama shirt. Some people say if the patterns on Tommy Bahama shirts don't match up, they're fake. That's false, especially the vintage ones. Lots of them, the patterns don't match up. The newer ones, pretty much all the patterns match up on both sides. This one shows that it doesn't. Sold for $29.99 plus ship. What's your average on returns? Do you get them? Yes, I do get them on eBay. On like platforms like Whatnot, I never get a return. Almost never get a return. Same as Poshmark, same as Depop, same as Mercari. Right now on eBay, I have 3 open returns. That's it. Out of all the items that you see me sell every single day, when I come on these lives, I have 3 active returns. Usually every month I get between 3 to 5 returns. Really not that much. Make sure you take measurements, take good photos, list your items accurately. You shouldn't get many returns. There are some months that, anomalies happen and you get a bunch of people that buy items that say they don't fit and you get a bunch of returns. But typically 3 to 5 returns is what I get per month. It's not really that much. And a lot of those returns are buyer pays return shipping. So it doesn't really hurt me to take a return. So what's up, Christy? Christy's in the house. All right. I think there's a Polo Ralph Lauren, another Polo Ralph Lauren shirt, bread and butter sale. This one sold for $20.70. What's up, Bobby? Everybody showing up. What's up, everybody? 2070, nice little bread and butter, and Nifty sent out 10% on offer. So I had this one listed for $22.99 plus ship, and then Nifty sent that 10%. You find you make more on eBay versus Whatnot per item. Average sales price per item, average profit per unit would be eBay by far. For example, this Ralph Lauren shirt, I probably would sell on Whatnot for $12. It's not going to go for full price. But the benefit to selling a Ralph Lauren polo like this on Whatnot is I don't have to list it. I don't have to do measurements. I just hold it up and I sell it. It's going to sell for less, but I'm able to sell volume. So out of all these listings today, if I ran a Whatnot show, I would have sold more items than I did this whole weekend in just this slot of me shipping out these items, if that makes sense. So that's the benefit to Whatnot. You got to think of Whatnot as it's not profit per unit, it's profit per show, because you can clear out 100 items in an hour if you're moving fast pace. So you can't do that on eBay. I can go do a bulk buy today, buy all the items, rack them up, run a show, and 3 hours later have all the items shipped and sold and have all that money back in my bank account. Can't do that with eBay. It would take you longer just to, you'd list like not even half of the items and not even have them active on eBay yet. And I've already have them sold on Whatnot. So that's the benefit. Had a 25 sale weekend. Only bad thing was I'm going to lose money on shipping a piece of luggage because I underestimated the dimensions. I listed it when I was a newbie. That's fine. You learned. It's a learning. That's a cost of learning right there. Instead of paying for a course, you paid for that little label. Now you won't make that mistake again. Is number one reason? Yeah, it doesn't fit. That's my number one reason. It's never like I hardly ever get returns for item not as described, and usually when it's not as described, it's because the measurements weren't right. Fit issue. But yeah, it doesn't fit as most of my eBay returns. Do you do buyer pays return shipping on eBay? Buyer pays return shipping for all items over a pound. So anything like jeans, jackets, things like that, over a pound, buyer pays return shipping. Under a pound, I pay return shipping. Return shipping is free. Because usually on those heavier items, like a pair of Polo Ralph Lauren jeans, it costs $9 to ship those out. If it costs $9 for the buyer to ship it out and then I had to pay $9 to get it back, there goes basically all of my profit on that piece. So that's why I don't do that. How do you price items for it to sell for $20.90, for example? So when it sells for $20.70, it was listed for $22.99 plus ship. Nifty sent out a 10% out offer, and that person accepted. So that's why you see that $20.70. I don't list items. I always list items with 99 at the end. So if I ever sell something and it doesn't have 99 at the end, it was because I took a best offer or Nifty sent out a best offer and that person took it. So that's how that works. Next up, J. Lindbergh men's pants. So these sold for $30. So the reason these sold for $30 is because this person sent me a $30 offer and I took it. J. Lindbergh men's shorts. These are a golf brand because we're at the end of golf season. I had these listed, I think, for $49.99. I paid $20 for them on Whatnot. I just decided to take that offer because I didn't want to have to sit on these for another year until golf season came around. So I decided to move those out. And I shipped a vintage Polo Ralph Lauren trench to somebody, but I grabbed the wrong trench and shipped it. I got an INAD my fall. At least shipped out a cheaper trench and not the more expensive one on accident. Hey, that's okay. I think everybody, Christy, that's watching this has shipped out the wrong item to the wrong person. The bad one is when you ship the wrong item to two separate people. Like you just grab the wrong label and slap it on two separate packages. And one person gets that trench and the other person gets like a women's top and they were supposed to be opposite. And then you got to facilitate the return and then you got to make both people happy. That's the hard one. So at least you didn't do that. It could always be worse. It could always be worse. You pay yourself at this point? Yes. I am doing this full time. So I would have to pay myself to pay my bills. So yes, I do pay myself. I pay myself. Talk to a tax advisor, talk to a financial advisor. They'll be able to help you with like how much you should be paying yourself and all that stuff based off what you sell. If you do this part-time, what I would say is use your full-time income from your full-time job to pay all your bills and use all the money. This is what I did. I took all the money that I made every single month from reselling and just put it right back into the reselling business and just snowballed it until it was big enough to where it paid all my bills. And then I was able to quit my job. So that's my suggestion for that. North Face men's windwall jacket. These are starting to sell. This one sold for $29.99 plus ship. Nice little sale. Yeah, both. If you're new here, both me and my wife do this full time. We do make some money off social media, obviously putting out videos and stuff like that. I don't have any courses, but I do make money off like products I promote and things like that. But for the most part, most of our money comes in from the sale of the stuff we sell. So, sale of our goods, goods, not our services, our goods. All right, that one shipped. Last couple we got. Actually, yeah, last two we got. Luckily, when I swapped labels, the two recipients were willing to mail to each other. Yes, that's good. That's good that they knew how to ship it too, Sylvia. Because a lot of times, when that happens, the person doesn't really know. Person bought, like a lot of people just don't know how to ship stuff. So you got lucky, really lucky with that one. Icebreaker men's lightweight shorts, good brand to look out for. These sold for $39.99 plus shipping. I got these from a retail arbitrage pickup. I think I paid like $17 a piece for these. I bought a good amount of them because they were at a good sale, and they're selling. So $39.99 plus ship. Love selling Icebreaker. One of my favorite brands, especially the jackets. If you can find them at thrift stores, the jackets sell really well. And then the last item that we have is going to be a train, and it's one of the better trains. I told you guys this. Every time I ship a train, it's usually like around 20 bucks. But the locomotive, the one that pulls the train, is the one that is the most expensive piece. And I didn't have many more of these. I think this might be the last one I have available. And it finally sold for, how much does it sell for? This train sold for $72. So when I did that big train buyout, my average cost of goods on these was $3.25. I knew that most of the locomotives would make me my money back, and then all the other trains that I sold for like 15 and 20 bucks are just like money on top. But this is the locomotive, so you can see it right there. This is the actual piece that pulls the train, so it's the most expensive piece because it's the most important piece. And yeah, this one sold for $72. I'm going to make sure I pack this up really well. I'm going to put it probably in a Priority Mail shoebox and ship it out in a shoebox and pad it up. So good sale. Again, $3.25 is what I paid for that, and sold for $72 plus shipping. Buyers all in for $83 on that one. I bought a Lightbox U feature. I haven't unpacked it yet. I'm excited to use it. I have a large amount of unlisted inventory. You're gonna like this Lightbox then. It's really good. Everybody keeps asking about the hangers too. I get messages every single day about the hangers. As soon as they become available again, I will put them up on my Facebook and Instagram. Trisha's working on making some more of them, but they're currently sold out. So as soon as the hangers are back available, I will let you guys know. Before you went full time, how did you decide how much you spent on inventory? Like what did you cap yourself at? Did you solely take your profit and reinvest only the amount back into? Yes. So if, for example, if I before I quit and did this full time, if I sold $10,000 worth of stuff, right, in a month, that means I have 10,000, well, after fees and everything. Let's say I sold $10,000 worth of stuff, but after fees and expenses and everything, I was left with $8,000. That means that month I had $8,000 to spend. I didn't take any money out of the business. I just put it all back into the business. So yeah, that's how I did that. Any money I had extra, I didn't really grab from my own funds, even though I had funds available because I had enough money working at the post office that I had funds that I could pull from. And typically, if I sold $10,000 within a month, it was really hard for me to spend all that money within a month just going to thrift stores because I'd only do it part time. I would spend my days, after work going hitting all the stores as many as I could. That's when I really started to make money, doing this part time. That's when I started doing retail arbitrage because I had extra money. And that's why a lot of people do retail arbitrage. When you're first starting out and you're like, why are you spending $20 to sell something for $40? I'd rather just go to a thrift store and buy something for $5 and sell it for $40. And it's like, yeah, I would too. But I have $10,000 to spend this month and I've only spent $4,000 of that. And I need to spend the other $6,000 on inventory to keep that snowball rolling. So there's going to be pieces of inventory in my inventory that don't sell for as much and don't make as much profit as other pieces. But I'm in a different position than you are because you're first starting and you only have $500 to spend. I have $5,000 or I have $10,000 to spend. So I'd rather go out and spend that money on lower profit items, turn that into more money, and then take that money back out and do the same exact thing. And that's why you'll see people doing huge bulk buys on Whatnot, and they're buying trailers full of stuff because they're in a completely different position than you are. You not specifically talking to you, Christy, but just talking in general. There are some people out there that barely have $500 to spend on inventory, and there's people out there that have $50,000 to spend on inventory, and they'd rather spend that money to just sit on it and wait for that $5 to $40 flip. They want to go out there and spend that 50,000 and turn that 50,000 into $70,000 within a month and do it over and over again. Whereas a normal person would be like, why am I spending 50 to make 20? That doesn't make any sense. But for them, it makes a lot of sense because that next month they're just going to do the same thing over and over again. And then you're going to get to the point where you're spending 100 to make 30,000. You're spending 150 to make 50,000. And again, those margins don't make sense to the little buyer or the little seller, but to the big seller, they make a ton of sense. I wish I could go out there. There's going to be a point in time where I'm spending $50,000 a month on inventory just to turn and burn it and sell it all and whatnot super cheap, but then make a good margin, come back and do it all over again. So, love the team feeling with everybody. Appreciate you, NR, for hanging out always and being here and supporting. How do you know when to charge dimensional weight instead of entering the real weight on eBay? I've researched, but I can't find the exact answer. I assume that the package measure over certain dimensions. So, dimensional weight instead of entering the real weight on eBay. When you list an item on eBay, you're going to put in the proper weight and dimensions. The dimensional weight is based off the dimensions. So the post office is either going to charge you on one of two things. If your package is over a certain length and width, they charge you a dimensional weight because it takes up more space in their truck. If your item is a smaller item, but it weighs a lot, they're going to charge you based off the weight on that item. So they charge you either or. So just put in your proper weight and dimensions. You don't have to worry about anything. So if you're going to ship out a shirt and it's going to fit in a 9 by 11 by 2 package and it weighs 11 ounces, put 9 by 11 by 2, 11 ounces, you're good to go. Anything under a pound, they usually just charge off the weight of the item unless the dimensions are really, really massive. So typically when you're selling clothing, you really don't have to worry about that. Do you have a special pants hanger? No, I just use a regular pants hanger. That's the pants hanger I use. It's a basic one. There's not like a super wide one. So, do you think you sell way more retail arbitrage than thrifted items? No, I sell way more thrifted items than retail arbitrage. When you're talking eBay, when you're talking whatnot, I sell way more consignment, which is different than both. I'm getting items from people who thrift and do retail, and they're sending them all to me. So I can't really differentiate what's retail and what's thrifted because it's just coming all into me. They buy that stuff. If I had to say between the three, I sell way more consignment than I do retail or thrifted because I'm moving more stuff on whatnot. But I am making a lot more per item on eBay, so I'm making a lot more on the thrifted items. So out of everything, you make way more on thrifted because your margins are just a lot better. You're buying stuff so cheap. So yeah, anything over one quote. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. As long as you have total dimensions less than 36, not super long. Yeah, exactly. Don't worry too much about dimensional and weighted. Just put in your proper weight and dimensions. They'll charge you based off that. Recently, though, I've been changing all mine to flat rate shipping. So I charge a flat rate based off the item's weight. So if it's under, like I said earlier, if it's under a pound, it's going to go $7. If it's between 1 and 2 pounds, I charge $10. Anything above 2 pounds, 3 pounds, I usually charge $12 shipping on that stuff. So, all right, that's it. I appreciate you guys hanging out today. Again, no Whatnot show today. I had it scheduled for today, but we already moved it to tomorrow. So if you're looking for the Whatnot show, that it would be happening right now, but I knew I wasn't going to get done shipping this out until after 12. So Whatnot show tomorrow. I'll probably be live tomorrow morning shipping out whatever sells today. And then that's all the announcements I have for now. So appreciate you guys hanging out, and I'll catch you on the next one.